as I was going through that purpose journey, I made a promise to him and to myself that if I ever figured it out, that I would like run full speed ahead towards it.
Let me give you your proper introduction again, girl. All right, y'all. So Mrs. Gabrielle Smith, also known as the Thought Trainer, she is a wife, a mom. She's a coach who helps other coaches find their niches so that they can sign more clients. Gabrielle is passionate about helping women walk boldly in their purposes so that they can be who God called them to be. When she's not doing that, you can catch her laughing and being silly with her family and friends, reading a book, or watching all the relationship reality TV. Let us welcome Mrs. Gabrielle Smith.
Thank you so much for that intro. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Of course. Thank you so much for your yes. Thank you for agreeing to come on and share a word, share a testimony with us. And I'm just going to ask you, let's just jump right into it. I'm just going to ask you, just as I asked everyone else, if you can please share a time where you had to take a leap of faith. You had to step out on faith.
So the biggest one, the one that has had the biggest impact on my life up until now is like figuring out my purpose and actually walking in it. So I spent years in corporate America. Many people know that I was a software engineer before becoming a life coach. And one day I was sitting at work and I'm just like, okay, this ain't it. Like there's got to be more to what God has for me than this right here. So I set out on this journey to figure it out. And so I went out on my purpose journey trying to figure out, okay, God, like, what is it? And long story short, I found it to be life coaching. He led me to life coaching, and I found a program that I really wanted to join and get certified through. And honey, when I tell you, I found out the price of this certification, and I up until that point, I had not invested that kind of money in myself, like outside of like college. And so it was like terrifying. And so, and I didn't know anybody who had done it, who was a life coach. I didn't know anybody personally who had gone this route. And so I was going to be the first one, and I was going into it blind, didn't know anybody or anything at all, what to expect, nothing. And I, prayed about it. And I was like, okay, God, like if this is what you're leading me to do, I'm going to go. And so I spent that money, got certified, and have not looked back. That changed the entire trajectory of my life up to this point.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I could definitely understand completely because I feel like we have very similar stories. Whereas I transitioned as well from nursing to now literally coaching. And so I totally understand that feeling of wanting more, knowing that there's more for your life. And so I love that we literally, our paths literally align because of our obedience through Christ, right? And so that's so good. How long ago has it been for you? Like, how long ago was that?
So that was in 2018 that I started the certification program, and I finished up in 2019.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, that's amazing. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because I feel like so many people, they feel stuck in their careers and they know that God is calling them into more, but they're too afraid to step out. So what would you say to like someone who's watching, who knows God is calling them and asking them to take a leap of faith, but they're afraid? What would you say to that person right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's scary, and I won't lie. I was terrified, and, I don't want to minimize people's fears because it is a real thing to be called, I just feel like I be playing sometimes. I'm just like, listen, like, are you serious? Is this really the way you want me to go? Like, okay, stop playing. So I don't want to minimize that. Like it really is a scary process. And for me, it was about like I promised as I was going through that purpose journey, I made a promise to him and to myself that if I ever figured it out, that I would like run full speed ahead towards it. And that's what I did. And so what I would offer somebody who is kind of in that space and are scared to take that leap is, you know, the way that our minds are like programmed is that before we do anything, we kind of want to already know that we're going to be successful at it, right?
Yes.
And that's not the way that it works in this case. And you know, I'm
It wouldn't be faith.
yeah, like that's exactly what it is. And so what I would say is that like you won't have that evidence or that guarantee that you can like tap back into to say that you're going to be successful if you do it and it's going to go a certain way and all of that kind of stuff. But what I would offer is that you tap into this belief in yourself that you will figure it out. Yeah. Like up until this point, you have figured everything else out, and this will be no different. So you step out there, you will figure it out. Trust yourself to figure it out like you always have 100% of the time up until now.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I love that. And I love that, you know, one thing that we have to remember, especially as believers, is that the Lord, he directs our path. Like he literally, his word tells us in Deuteronomy that he himself goes before us. And so it's like, even if you make a misstep,
yeah,
the Lord is there to redirect your path, to guide you. He's walking alongside you. And so you don't have to like be afraid of the unknown, because we know that God is before us. And so regardless of whatever, he's always going to like, he's always going to like make sure that everything works out for our good, right? That's his promise.
Yep.
You know, Romans 8:28, he promises to make all things work out for our good. And so I firmly believe that. And I appreciate you for sharing that, because it's so important that people realize, like, you know, as long as you are submitted to the Lord, he's going to guide you. He's going to lead you. And you don't have to allow fear to hinder you and to block you from the blessings that he has. Because, you know, if you never took that leap of faith in 2018, you would probably still be working as a, you know, a software engineer and like still questioning and wondering what if I didn't take that leap of faith,
100%.
right?
I'd still be miserable in not knowing, right? Because you know, it's like choose your discomfort, because it was going to be uncomfortable if I stayed there, and it's going to be uncomfortable by stepping out on faith too. But it's like, I think I'd rather go that way and see what God has for me that way. And yeah, and that's what I did. So yeah.
Yes, that's so amazing. I love that you said that. Choose your discomfort. It's so true, because you cannot grow in your comfort zone. And so, yeah, that is so powerful. It's like, do you want to be uncomfortable for the next 40 years, 30 years at your career, wondering, you know? And so, yeah, I love that you shared that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so for everyone that's watching, everyone that'll watch a replay, can you just let us know, like, what do you have coming up, or how they could keep in touch with you? What do you have like going on? Just drop your socials and all that.
Yeah, I'm here at The Thought Trainer. I hang out on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram, mostly in my stories. You can find me on my website, thethoughttrainer.com. All the information is there. And if you like need help with niching as a coach, especially, or in any industry, and you're kind of like stuck in your niche, because what I do with the niching is help you align that with your purpose, because that is going to set you up for like the biggest success. It's like your purpose within your purpose. And so that kind of that positions you as the automatic expert, automatic authority. So reach out to me if you need any help with that. But yeah, that's it. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, and I just want to also attest for Mrs. Gabrielle, because she has also helped me along my journey as a coach. And like, I remember our call together, and literally it was really eye-opening, you know, that you literally helped me walk through that process of, okay, who am I really called to serve? Like, who am I really and what do I want to help them do? And so I appreciate you, and I wanted to give you your flowers publicly for that as well. And if you guys are not on her email list, get on her email list. It's so powerful. Literally, I swear, like, your emails are always just like speaking directly to me. And so
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that.
yes.
I'm glad.
Yes.
Well, I'm
All right, you guys.
so happy for you. Thank you for inviting me on here. I
Of
love
course.
these. I watch them every time you post one. I watch them. So I love to hear different testimonies from people, and it's so powerful. And like, thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that. I appreciate that so much. Like, I think, like, well, I know the word tells us that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And so we are so encouraged by testimonies, and the Lord placed it on my heart to do this. And so I'll continue to do it until He, tells me to stop. And so I appreciate you taking the time to sit and to share your testimony. Hey, sis. All right, so before I go, I'm going to tell all of you guys, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. I'll see you guys next Tuesday for another Testimonies of Faith. Bye, guys. Thank
Bye.
you.